If you were wandering around on the internet and you saw these good-looking fellas, or maybe these good-looking fellas, then chances are one of two things came up in your head. Nerds. Or maybe... what is that? Hi, what's up everyone? My name is Onion and I am a streamer and dungeon master, and I am here today to answer the great question, what is Dungeons and Dragons? Dungeons and Dragons has been rising in popularity in the past few years, and a lot of people have come into my channel asking me what it was or how it worked. So this is my answer! Alright, so D&D is a tabletop role-playing game. Tabletop just means you're playing it at a table with your friends, like Monopoly. Or like that family dinner where your grandma asks you when you're getting married because you're already getting bald and it's only gonna get worse from here. Moving on. Role-playing means you play a role, whether it be a character you've created or a pre-existing hero that you get to become. Examples of RPGs are Skyrim, World of Warcraft, Game of the Year 2022 Elden Ring, and what couples do to spice up their relationship, the video game, among other things. Now, to play D&D, you generally need a group of players, or even just one, and a dungeon master. The dungeon master pretty much acts as the world. They represent the NPCs, the monsters, the scenarios, the laws of physics, all of that. They're the ones providing you with the reactions of the world to your actions as a player. They also represent that invisible wall or impossible jump to make in games whenever the players get too ridiculous with their ideas. As every game, D&D needs a setting, and although the rule set can be adapted to tons of settings, it functions better in a high fantasy one, because it's what it was originally meant for. There are tons of pre-existing adventures and books written by amazing creators that will guide you along the way of being a DM and even a player, giving you huge worlds to explore and awesome classes and subclasses to play. Or, you can go ahead and write your own adventure, in your own setting. Go nuts! I ain't the D&D police. One thing that I'm often asked is, yo, where the game at? It's only people talking. Well, it's true that most of D&D happens in our imagination, but it doesn't all have to happen in the theater of the mind. There's visual support in the form of maps and battle maps that can either be physical or virtual, and in a virtual tabletop, where players get to move around their tokens in an unnecessarily complex version of chess. Visual support is amazing, especially in battle. It helps players visualize things a bit better, pick the appropriate spells for the circumstances, and better position and move around tough situations. It's great. Alright, so we know that we need players and a dungeon master. You can play pre-existing adventures or you can write your own. And you can even have visual support in the form of battle maps for your game. But how does the game work exactly? This is where D&D really stands out for me. You can do almost anything in D&D since the limitations are your imagination or the DM's patience. The success or failure of what you do is determined by rolling dice. Characters have stats, strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma that then boost your skills, attacks, hit points, and spells. This translates into bonuses that you get to add to your dice rolls. They will vary depending on the class and subclass that you play. A rogue is generally good at sneaking around, which means they get to add this little bonus to their stealth. That doesn't mean there can't be terribly loud rogues. By all means, please build your characters however you want. Anyway, you want to attack someone? Roll to see if you hit. You want to find that goblin that escaped the encounter? Roll to see if you spot their footprints. Want to seduce the dragon? Roll for donkey. If your rolls match or are higher than the difficulty class or DC of what you're trying to accomplish, then you succeed. If they're lower, well, you failed. The DC for things is usually established by the DM or by in-game mechanics. Failures can generate funny situations, so any roll can be an excellent opportunity to create a good story moment. Don't be too concerned about failing. There's a little bit more depth to everything, but I hope I managed to answer a few questions you had about D&D without getting too boring or too deep into it. I'll be making more videos like this in the future, so stick around. Maybe leave a like or a suggestion in the comments below. You can catch me streaming D&D and other stuff on Twitch. The link will be down below. And there is already a ton of D&D content on this channel that you can find, a playlist with one-shots and even campaigns. So check them out. Anyway, take care, and I'll see you around, dudes.